Let's talk about Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears. Tough situation right here. This team continues to basically head into the wrong direction in a very fast rate. I'm going to say this. Shane Waldron, when you know about his story from Hard Knocks, left the Seattle Seahawks, comes over to the Chicago Bears. He was very excited to work with Caleb Williams. Too excited, in my opinion. He basically got himself fired. He was not a very good offensive coordinator. The human aspect of things, it sucks because he had to relocate his family to Chicago. I think that he will find footing somewhere else in the NFL. He's a very likable guy. But Shane Waldron should have never been hired in the first place. Matt Eberflus should not still be the head coach with the Chicago Bears. They should have went out there, traded Justin Fields, fired Matt Eberflus, and bring in an offensive-minded head coach. Because right now, you're basically harming Caleb Williams. Matt Eberflus came out a month ago, and he said Caleb Williams needs to be more conservative in certain situations. And Caleb Williams trying to force the football to tight windows to DJ Moore. This is a defensive-led team because you have a defensive head coach. That's usually how things go. Now, you look at the Washington Commanders, that's a very special case because Jaden Daniels is amazing, and the same with CJ and the Houston Texans, even though they're dealing with a lot of problems right now. But when I look at the Chicago Bears, historically, they're not known for their offense. They're known for their defense. They're known to be the monsters of the midway many decades ago. I have no problem with that. The problem that I have is this. Ryan Poles and everyone else in the front office, you continue to let Matt Eberflus be the head coach with the team. Now, I understand last season he showed a lot of good moments, but let's get one thing straight. The man is a defensive head coach only. He wasn't able to figure out offense last season. Luke Getsy was the offensive coordinator. The only reason why the rushing game was so dominant last season was because of Justin Fields and because he's an amazing athlete. No disrespect to Caleb Williams. He doesn't have the same mobility and the explosiveness in the run game as a guy like Justin Fields. So your run game was going to take a step back. Now look at this offensive line. You have Tevin Jenkins. I like him a lot at the guard position. You have Braxton Jones, left tackle position. You have Darnell Wright. One thing that's getting lost into the national media, and Shane Waldron did deserve to be fired, majority of this offensive line was hurt against the Patriots. He went out there with a broken game plan. I feel bad for him, but at the same time, go out there and alter your game plan. Get the football out of Caleb Williams' hands faster. Run some more screens. Run some quick tempo. They don't do that. That is what they were doing at USC because Caleb Williams does have a tendency to hold on to the football for a very long time. And that's carried over to the NFL. But at the same time, I will urge you guys to go back and look at the Los Angeles Rams game. Look at the Carolina Panthers game and the Jacksonville Jaguars game. He was getting the football out quicker. It was an elite game plan, especially against the Los Angeles Rams. They have went away from that. Now, part of that is because teams are basically just going out there and playing shadow coverage on the wide receivers. Guys can't get open deep down the field, which also makes me look at Shane Waldron. Why are you calling so many deep plays over and over again when you have a quarterback that is a big game hunter? He's going to go out there and basically try to do what he did at the college level over to the NFL. It's not working. Everyone is to blame. Caleb Williams, Shane Waldron, and also Matt Eberflus as well. Now, Matt Eberflus hired Luke Getsy, the screen man himself. The man ran so many screens last season with the Chicago Bears, it didn't make any sense. And you saw Shane Waldron start to run a lot of screens as well, except for when they went on that 3-game winning streak. Now, they went away from that, but it was more deep shots down the field. I look at Thomas Brown, no disrespect to him. He was a terrible offensive play caller with the Carolina Panthers. I paid attention to the Carolina Panthers a lot last season and Bryce Young's rookie season. This is a similar situation. The only thing is this, Caleb Williams has better wide receivers. This is a bad offensive line. And Thomas Brown is not a very good offensive play caller. He was so bad that Frank Reich took the play calling duties away from him. And they made him the main offensive coordinator for the rest of the season. The offense did little to nothing with Bryce Young. Bad offensive line, rookie quarterback. It's the same thing that's going on right here. Their only saving grace is if Caleb Williams can go out there and find a way to stop being a big game hunter. And that's going to happen when you call deep shots down the field. He's not used to getting the football quick out on a dime every single game because he did not do that at USC. And at USC this season that we just moved off of from college, he did not have a good offensive line. And looked at how he looked the year before. Phenomenal, amazing. But he did not have to throw into tight windows. When you look at DJ Moore, Mr. Attitude himself, Mr. DJ Moore that wants to walk off the field and slam his helmet when Caleb Williams misses him. And I understand his frustration. He's not always open. He's in tight coverage. Caleb Williams cannot make those type of throws just yet. Jaden Daniels can. CJ, his rookie season, could. But not every rookie quarterback develops at the same rate. They're not going to go out there and look like Peyton Manning on day number 1, like how Peyton Manning looked in year 3 and year 4. It's not going to happen. I do think that Caleb Williams has a lot of flaws right now, but it's a lot of good for his kid as well. They have to stick with him. I think that Ryan Poles has to go out there and fire Matt Eberflus, let him go, and they possibly will let Ryan Poles go as well. Yes, he did a phenomenal move by going out there and finessing the Carolina Panthers and getting those first-round picks and getting DJ Moore, but you can't get the coach right. Fire Matt Eberflus after this season. And for the ones that are saying, hey, Matt Eberflus, he's holding up to his end of the deal. For one, you're a head coach. He's not just a defensive coordinator anymore. This is a man that takes care of the entire team. For the ones that don't know, when you're a head coach, you have to go out there and sit in offensive meeting, wide receiver meetings, tight end meetings, defensive coordinator meetings as well, linebacker meetings, special teams meetings. You sit in on every single thing. You control the entire ship. Some head coaches are more lenient than others, but at the end of the day, you control the timeouts and you control basically what the offense is going to look like. You can be hands off with it, but you also have to be lock and key with your offensive coordinator. Look at the Miko Ryans with Bobby Slowick with the Houston Texans. Those guys are close to the hip. Every single year, the Chicago Bears have had a problem offensively underneath Matt Eberflus. He's terrible. And this is a repeating cycle with the Chicago Bears. Part of the reason to why I'm upset and disappointed with the Bears, it's copy and paste. You failed Mr. Trubisky even though he was a bust. But Matt Nagy was an incompetent head coach. Matt Nagy wasn't the biggest fan of him. Let's bring in Justin Fields. They bring in Justin Fields. They move off of Matt Nagy. They bring in Matt Eberflus. Matt Eberflus, he really liked Justin Fields, but they had a golden opportunity here. We don't want to pay Justin Fields a lot of money. We don't want to exercise that fifth-year option. Hey, we get to go out there and get a guy like Caleb Williams. Let's move off of Justin Fields. Let's draft this quarterback. It's the same situation. They had offensive line problems with Mr. Trubisky, play calling problems with Mr. Trubisky, even though they made the NFL playoffs. You had offensive line problems with Justin Fields, coaching problems with Justin Fields. You're having the same problems right now. This is 3 quarterbacks now. We have to stop blaming the players at some point and stop blaming the coaches as well. This is a front office problem because you keep bringing in terrible coaches over and over again. You just can't go out there and bring in the right guys. I think an offensive coordinator like Ben Johnson can come over to the Chicago Bears, and I know that puts a nasty taste in Detroit Lions fans' mouths because this is a division rival. But you forget about that. Ben Johnson can come over and he can fix this kid. I think he can make him like a top quarterback in the NFL, but he has to get the football out quicker, and the offensive line has to play better as well. This offensive line gets a bad rep, but a lot of it is because it's a lot of long, drawn-out developing plays. They want Caleb Williams to be the guy that he was at USC. He's not going to be that quarterback right now. Patrick Mahomes is not the same quarterback that he once was at Texas Tech. Baker Mayfield is not the same quarterback he was in Oklahoma. They were in college systems. Not every single player on the field in college is a very good player. And no disrespect to college players. At the NFL, to rookies, everyone is good. The game is faster, it's more up-tempo. That's why I want the Chicago Bears to go out there and tire out defenses, run some more up-tempo plays, get the football out quick. Run this like a college team in some weird fashion. Look at what the Commanders do with Jaden Daniels. And Jaden Daniels right now is a better quarterback than Caleb Williams. But I feel bad for Chicago Bears fans because this is a wasted year. They're not going to be able to win many games with Matt Eberflus this season. Move off of him. And when I look at this defense, the rushing defense is not the same. Their passing defense is very good with Jalen Johnson. I think that he's a top cornerback in the NFL. Tyreek Stevenson, I know he had the blunder against the Washington Commanders. He's a very good player. You have Montez Sweat. Montez Sweat has not been able to have the same impact that he had last season. Only 3.5 sacks on the season, but he's getting double teamed majority of the time. Darrell Taylor, that's another guy you made a trade for. He only has 2 sacks on the season. The defense is still good because you have Tremaine Edmonds and TJ Edwards. Don't get me wrong. But they can't get to the passer on a consistent basis unless it's Montez Sweat. Matt Eberflus in the past, the rushing defense was better. But at the end of the day, you don't want to hear about defense that much. You want your offense to go out there and score some points. And Matt Eberflus is a conservative head coach. We've seen this over the years as well because he depends too much on the defense. I feel bad for Shane Waldron, but the move had to be done. I don't expect for their offense to get any better because Thomas Brown is a bad offensive coordinator in his own right, and Matt Eberflus is a terrible head coach. Bring in the right coach to come out and help out Caleb Williams. I also read a report as well that there's some veterans on the team that want to see Caleb Williams get benched in favor of Tyson. They can go that route. They can go that route with Tyson. I can tell you right now, Tyson's not going to be your long-term guy. Caleb's the guy, whether you like it or not. I know a lot of Chicago Bear fans, they love Justin Fields, whatever. He's no longer with the Chicago Bears. You could talk about Caleb Williams wearing dresses, painting his fingernails, whatever. I don't care what he does off the field. I just care about what he does on the field. That's it. And right now, he does not look like a good player, but at the same time, bad offensive line, bad coaching. Is it a chance that Caleb Williams could be a bust? It is, because he does deserve blame. I'm not going to come on here and make it seem like he's just 100% blameless. In the last few games, I feel bad for him because coaching has let him down. But I always go back to those 3 games, even though the Carolina Panthers have one of the worst defenses in the NFL, the same with the Jacksonville Jaguars. When he went against the Rams, he dealt with pressure in his face. And he did not have over 200 passing yards, but he was quick, he was decisive, and the game plan was on point and it was on target. Get this kid a consistent run game. You have the wide receivers, and you can be in a very good situation long term. I also think that them selecting Rome Odunze in the first round was a major mistake. Not because Rome Odunze is a bad player, because he's not. You did not need to get another wide receiver. You needed to go out there and get you another offensive lineman. Prioritize his offensive line. But let me know in the comment section below, how do you feel about this situation with Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears? If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, I want each and every last one of you guys stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for watching the video, guys. God bless. Peace.